Well, we all know what this is, right?
Yeah.
You probably use it every day, maybe 15, 20 minutes a day. Well, it's a cell phone. And I know I love my cell phone. It's great. It's a great invention. And I'm sure when we use this, we don't think twice about the safety of a cell phone. This phone right here emits what we call electromagnetic energy or electromagnetic radiation. And electromagnetic radiation is pretty much emitted from any type of electrical motor. The reason why cell phones are considered dangerous or risky is that the proximity of how close it is to your brain. This device emits a high frequency energy wavelength, which emits radiation. So electromagnetic energy or electromagnetic field has been proven to have some effect on the human body. Now, in today's world, we are subject to a lot of electromagnetic fields of radiation. One of them is a cell phone. Any device that's wireless, like a wireless printer or a wireless Bluetooth device, emits electromagnetic energy. The microwave oven you can see behind me, that also emits electromagnetic radiation. Now, according to the World Health Organization, which is very well known, they state that brain cancer may be related to cell phone usage. Also, the International Agency of Research of Cancer states that electromagnetic fields may be classified as causing cancer. So there are two organizations that are kind of telling us, listen, electromagnetic energy may not be the safest thing for our biosphere. Now, Dr. Robert Becker, a Nobel Prize nominee, states, and I quote him, "I have no doubt in my mind that at the present time, the greatest polluting element in the Earth's environment is the proliferation of electromagnetic fields." Now, we're being bombarded each day by electromagnetic field energy from satellite dishes, cell phone towers, and wireless networks. So anytime you go into a Starbucks or a restaurant that has free Wi-Fi, there's magnetic radiation being emitted. So you just have to keep that in mind as this discussion goes along. Now, right now, France, Britain, Russia, and Germany have openly discouraged the use of cell phones by children. When I say children, anybody below the age of 18. This is a concern because of the negative effects that electromagnetic energy has on children's bodies, and I'll explain in a moment. When we use a cell phone as an adult, we have thicker bones, we have a thicker skull. So when we hold this phone up to our head or skulls, not as much radiation is being absorbed, whereas children have a much thinner skull and their bodies are still developing. So there are two concerns when a child uses a phone on the proximity of how close it is to their brain. Now, according to Larry Chalice, a British scientist, he states it may take years to realize the health problems related to EMF exposure on children, much like the Chernobyl disaster. Now, this concern regarding children is also hitting home in America. Oh, speaking of cell phones. Now, the placement of cell towers near school property has been a big debate. Strict opposition by the American Federation of Teachers has stated that we don't want any more cell towers on school property. they don't even want wireless networks in the school system because of the amount of electromagnetic radiation that's being emitted during classes. Now, you might ask yourself, what research has been done that states that cell phones cause cancer? Well, during my research, there were a lot of studies that were very conflicting. You know, some studies say yes, it does cause cancer, or it could cause cancer. And some studies say, well, if you use your cell phone for 30 minutes a day for 10 years, maybe you'll get cancer. And I can understand that. There are a lot of different factors that can determine cancer. There are a lot of studies that are very conflicting. A study was conducted on rats, on their memory. And rats that were exposed to EMF radiation had a significant deficiency in memory loss. So you can see how that electromagnetic energy is affecting their memory. Also, various studies have shown that bees, fruit flies, frogs, birds, and bats are all negatively affected by EMF energy, radio waves. Now, according to the Journal of Biomedicine, the use of cell phones is associated with the increased risk of brain tumors after 10 years. Now, you might be asking yourself, what can I do to limit myself to this radiation exposure? Well, one thing you can do is not stay on the phone too long. You know, holding it very close to your ear is probably one way you want to try to avoid. Use a speakerphone. Don't always carry your phone if you don't need it. Your phone emits radio frequency radiation on or off. So it's always going to be emitting that radiation. If you use your cell phone in a car, it draws more energy from the cell tower and emits more radio frequency radiation. Don't use your cell phone in an elevator. It has to pull the signal stronger, which emits more radiation. Other ways you can limit your exposure would be not to use any kind of Bluetooth device. Use a wired home phone instead of a cordless phone. And once again, just don't use your phone as much. And if you have to use it, use a speakerphone. Now, with all this being said, with the studies being very conflicting, I know I'll still be using my phone, but I will be very aware of how long I speak on the phone. There are laws currently now that are in legislation, especially in the state of Pennsylvania, to have a warning on a cell phone box stating that the use of a cell phone may be hazardous to your health. In San Francisco, they actually passed a law stating that when a cell provider sells you a phone, they have to tell you, listen, this may cause cancer. So with that being said, I just hope that you guys take the information I had here and just be aware of your cell phone usage, and want you to also understand that this doesn't only affect your health, but the health of generations to come. Thank you.